Hello, and thank you for coming here and doing your homework for structured literacy. This will be the homework and need to be submitted for Sunday at midnight. We're going to be talking about structured literacy. Okay, so structured literacy, it'll have some different objectives. As you will see here, we have a part 1. You'll know what structured literacy means. We'll have a part 2 that we will know the elements of structured literacy. And then last, we will investigate a scope and sequence to see what systematic instruction looks like. All right, so next, we're going to start here with what is structured literacy. What I want you to do is read through this slide and add notes to your notebook. Up here in the corner, it'll tell you what page in your notebook to use. While you're reading this slide, I'd like you to also click on this website and just investigate a little bit. Okay. Pause the recording, and then when you're ready, go on to the next slide. Okay, now we're going to be talking about the second part. What are the elements of structured literacy? Okay, so here's the first element. Again, you'll notice, take notes on page 17, pause so you can read the slide and learn what is sequential instruction. Now that you've read about what it is, I'd like you to look at this slide. This is called scope and sequence, and all reading series that we use in classrooms have a scope and sequence. So these are usually in the beginning of our teacher's manuals, and it shows you kind of the sequence of what should be taught. These both are found in Canvas if you want to see larger copies. So a larger copy of this one is in Canvas, and a larger copy of this one is in Canvas. Okay, this one here comes from the website down below. This one I used, it's from Harcourt, Houghton Mifflin, Storytown. And up on the top, it has some directions for you. For you to look at both of these scope and sequences and put down in your notes what were the first 8 letters taught in both kindergarten sequences. So this sequence says lesson 1, 2, so that's the LSN is the lesson number. But you're really just looking for what were the first 8 letters taught here and the first 8 letters taught here. Put those in your notebook and see if there's any similarities. Pause the recording as you need. Next, we're going to go on and talk about what is systematic instruction. And the crazy thing is, I guess teachers don't always know what this is, but often we also use this to be the sequence. It's really not supposed to mean that, but people often say the sequence, that this is also sequence. So read about systematic instruction. Also in Canvas, you will see this routine card, and you can look at a closer copy. It's still a little blurry, or a routine card similar to this. It's also on the next slide. It's a little blurry, but you'll get the idea. So this is a routine card. It gives you specific directions on how to teach vocabulary. And it tells you step by step what to do. Direct definition. That means don't ask a question, just give it. Tell the students the definition. Not ask them, who knows this? No, just give the definition like it does there. If a thing is fabulous, it means it's wonderful or marvelous. And then you would go on and look at synonyms and antonyms. And this kind of tells you what to say. Which word is the same as fabulous, okay, or super? Why does super go with fabulous? Now you're asking a little questions, but you give the definition first. And you go through some different examples. 3, make up a novel sentence that uses the word in it. Not asking students to do it, you do it. Then classify with other words. For example, name some things that are fabulous. Now you're asking for some input, but first you model. The boy had a fabulous time at the park. Did he have a great time or a terrible time? And it's getting kids to know. So these routine cards are used for many different types of things that you have to teach, so that you teach it in a consistent way. It is systematic, and that it is not left up for guessing, and it just like you read what it says to do. Again, take notes on page 17. The next one is called explicit instruction, and like it says here, we're going to do this in class, so don't worry about it or take any notes on it. Okay? But go on. Next, the next one is, what is cumulative instruction? I want you to read this slide, take some notes on page 17, and open up this standards crosswalk to show how one standard goes through all the grades. Cumulative. So it's little by little by little by little. Next, the next one is to mastery. We teach to mastery. Pause, read, understand, take notes. Part 3. Now we're going to look at part 3. And part 3 right here is we're going to be learning about task analysis. It is part of structured literacy. And I want you to learn about task analysis. Read the slide, pause, take notes. There are directions in here. Again, it's asking you to think, if you were building a puzzle, what would you need and do? And I want you to write down your steps in your notebook on page 17. How would you build a puzzle? How would you tell somebody how to build a puzzle? Okay, and then stop. Don't go any further. This is your homework on structured literacy. The rest we'll do in class. Okay, if you have questions, hit me up in Canvas and I'll return your message. Bye.